Well, welcome back, Blade fans. This old sword is with you once again, fresh back from vacation, modifications to the home front, redoing the studio, busy with everything but Blade reviews, and I'm way behind. I've got quite a number of new items to share with you. I figure I would start with this one first because I think it might have the most appeal. CJRB, something called the Riff. You guessed it. It's a button lock. It's 9CR18 MOV. No, it isn't. It's AR RPM9. Why did I think that? That is Artisan's proprietary steel that is very close to the aforementioned 9CR steel. It's a good sized knife. I'd call it a medium sized knife. It's not small, it's not large. It's got a good sized blade. It's over 3.5 inches. We'll find out in a minute exactly how much more. Got some good sturdy liners. And does it have weight relieving? No weight relieving. That's interesting. Thought it might. Okay. And I think we're coming in around 70 bucks with this one, but I will be giving you links. That's just off the top of my head. Pretty good jimping, not ultra grippy, but kind of bumpy. And you're really not going to slide on that very much, I don't think. Got a lanyard hole, got a deep carry clip with flat-headed screws, but the clip is mounted on the surface and will switch over to the left side. Lucky you, left-handers. I'm really digging this clip point blade. It just has a really mean point. Got a full size, full depth, full length. That's what I'm trying to say. So you've got a flipper tab with, guess what? No jimping, but a forward cant, so you can catch it very well with the finger. But you can also do that, right? You can also roll it out. You can also thumb flick it out. You've got a fairly fidgety knife with what I will call a very decent button lock. I don't detect any noticeable stick there. Maybe just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. But you know, that plunge lock's got to go all the way through and make contact with the frame. So until you maybe oil it or graphite it or whatnot, or just let it break in, it's going to have the tiniest bit of stick, but not as much as some other knives. And I've got some example of those knives, and they aren't bad in of themselves either. They're very decent button lock knives by Civivi. So let's measure this guy up so you know what we're dealing with here. We've got 8.25 overall length. Let me back out a little. There we go. No, that's a little too much. Okay. 8.25 with a blade of ever so slightly less than 3.5, with a cutting edge like 3.65-ish. So you got more cutting edge because of that cant backwards and because of the projection forward of the handle. Blade stock in millimeters, 3.5 millimeters, and inches, 0.14. Handle thickness, 0.53, not too bad. Weight, NC. Yeah, 5 ounces all day, I think. We're just going to call that 5 ounces, 4.995. 5-ounce knife. So maybe a little on the heavier side. And I am surprised that they didn't give us any weight relieving here. checking it out again. No, we got liners on both sides, and they are pretty thick liners, as you can see. Even though it's not a liner locking knife, where we would need them to be a little thicker for engagement with the lock. Instead, we have a plunge lock. And there is your plunge lock mechanism. Pretty good engagement there. I'd say about 40% engagement. Well, the way they've got it, there's kind of a, you can see it, there is a slot in the blade that's milled into the blade, and that plunge lock comes into contact with it almost all the way. One thing I look for since button locks have become popular is the height of the button. And what are the chances that we can disengage it accidentally? This disengages pretty easily, but not until about there, okay? And it is protected with a milled out slot right here. Now, one thing you've got going for you is that should it accidentally disengage and you're holding it here, you have a pretty prominent flipper tab there that is keeping your the blade from folding. So your finger is holding that blade out in place, which I think is a nice added safety measure. No additional safety on this, just the plunge lock itself. I was talking about some other knives. Here's the Saxy, S-A-C-S-E, I believe. I don't know if they printed it on here. I think it's on the box though. Somewhere. Where's the box? Where's the box? Sencut. That's how you spell it. Okay. And this one is the natural JG10 model. This has a little more stick to it. Not hard, but a little more stick. You can almost hear it. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Yeah, you can't really hear it. I don't think it's going to come across the mic. And this one is both a flipper and a double thumb stud. And you can see that it is about the same blade length, but a little shorter in the handle. So less handle. If we go pommel to pommel, got a good ½ inch more handle on the Riff. Now, the CJRB comes in a really nice padded case, really nice hard box for the price, well under $100. I think it is got a lot going for it in terms of what they supplied. You don't usually get that in a sort of budget level knife. I'm going to call it sort of budget level. Now, if we pull out a Civivi knife, and this one is called the Cogent. You might remember this guy from about a year ago, maybe, or more. I think they came out around Christmas time. They were extremely popular. This has a good amount of lock stick to it. Now, by that I just mean that you have to press it a little bit harder and you can feel it break like that. This one's not really broken in. This is pretty much brand new in the box. Semi-serrated. This is 14C. And you can see that it is a ½ inch shorter overall than the Riff. And again, with about the same blade length. Now that's interesting because if we look at this, they have maximized that blade to handle ratio. It's right out there, which is an interesting thing. If we were to compare this to the Benchmade Griptilian, next to the Riff, we've got a little wider blade, a little taller blade on the Riff. Just about exactly, is that a thing? Let's say exactly the same length overall, with the same blade length pretty much. Nice thick stock though, 3.5 millimeters. Feels good in the hand. Ergos widens out and does kind of an interesting geometric kind of trapezoidal thing here. I don't know what you want to call that, where this kind of shelves off there. And, you know, it doesn't feel really heavy in the hand. Maybe you're going to, if you like a really light knife, you may feel that that's too heavy in your pocket. Certainly you can do this trick with it all day long. If you like fidgeting with a button lock, we know that that's one thing you can do. You can kind of turn it into a gravity knife. Shh, don't tell anybody. By just pushing the button and forgetting about the flipper and the reverse flick. Anyway, that is the Riff, newly out by CJRB, parent company Artisan Cutlery. Let me know what you think. And don't forget to give this vid a review and a like. And leave any comments that you would like. I'll be back with you soon. Take care.